Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we look back to Basel 2005 and the debut of what was at the time one of the most complicated and extravagant Omega timepieces ever, the De Ville co-axial Rattrapante, part of the chronoscope De Ville subfamily. The watch matched unrivaled wrist presence with a high horology Frédéric Piguet-based coaxial chronometer split-seconds chronograph movement, and though you might guess this timepiece on my 16-centimeter circumference wrist would be a 43, a 44, or even a 45 millimeter, Omega pulled a little bit of a Houdini act, a watch that looks huge but measures 41 millimeters in diameter. That's right, 41 millimeters. Now, it's not thick, it's not thin. Although it's on the girthier side, it has a stepped and domed bezel that allows this 14.9 millimeter thick watch to slide under a jacket cuff, if not the tightest of sleeves. You can see lug-to-lug, the watch measures 51.3 millimeters, which is anything but gigantic. It's about the range of a 40 millimeter Rolex sports watch on a full bracelet with solid end links. The spacing between the lugs is 20 millimeters, so this is a timepiece that will find a bevy of 20 millimeter sized OEM and aftermarket strap options. The strap that's fitted is rich. Semi-gloss, large rectangular scale alligator leather. You can see that it features plenty of bolstering down its center, so it has body and volume. It also features a sheer side that shows the layers of construction, a monotone stitch, calfskin on the underside, Omega factory strap, brand new, no gouging of the apertures, and it features a substantial rose gold deploying clasp. You can see all of satin finish with the exception of the relieved and polished Omega logo. Twin trigger release, so this one stays shut until you depress both triggers. Not friction fit, it can't pop open. The interior of the clasp is both engine turned and satin finished, and it features a minderless system, so any excess strap length will tuck underneath the clasp, and once it's sized, there are no minder loops and no excess length flapping in the breeze. So this is a handsome and substantial clasp. By itself, it contains more gold than many precious metal ultra-thin dress watches. The case is Baroque. Much like the old Omega, I want to say 2637 references from the middle of the last century. It has lugs that are dramatically stepped out, beveled, fluted, flared. They have incredible body presence and personality, and they do make this watch distinctive. At a glance, you know you're talking about either the chronoscope or the Rattrapante from this period. And in many respects, it was a trendsetter, as stronger and stronger lugs became something adopted widely throughout the industry. This watch can rightly claim to be among the first to have made the lugs not just Baroque, but downright Rococo as a styling factor. The pushers are beveled and they are satin finished. They are pump style, vintage inspired pushers. The crown features a little bit of a recess and sheer guards. And you can see there's actually a relieved and polished Omega logo on a bead blasted center. So attention to detail is strong with this one. The fact that the case is satin finished means that it contrasts rather dramatically with the polished rose gold accents of the dial. The dial features a number of different black tones. It's actually a black metallic, and monotone versions of this dial actually play better than the two-tone, as the sunken registers, which also overlap, appear more natural and more elegant when they're surrounded by the corresponding color, so black on black here. When they are two-tone and the outer dial is a different color, this center portion begins to look a little bit, dare I say, Mickey Mouse. Not here. A number of features that proved to be trendsetters. The watch was a early adherent of the double concentric semicircles with differential sized seconds hand, and this was something that became fairly popular during the late 2000s. Also, this is one of the first appearances of a triple date that I can recall, the idea being that even if the minute hand is superimposed over the date display, you will have the ability to see the succeeding and the preceding day. Lots of applique rose gold on this dial. As you can see, the indices outboard, the chapter rings for the sub-registers. There's actually a frame for the raised dial center just under the De Ville coaxial chronometer script. You can see that's actually a raised center section of the dial. And the timepiece features not just indexes, or indices, outboard I should say, but applied Omega marquee and stylized Roman numerals inside the sub-registers. Alpha style hands, more elegant than Dauphine. I approve of that choice. And of course, it is a split-second chronograph, a Rattrapante. You can time two concurrent events, and you can gauge whether, for instance, two race cars circulating a track are closing in on each other, or if the gap between them is waxing rather than waning. You can also use it for the kids' track meet, or simply to impress friends who may not be into watches, but will love the fireworks of this particular complication. Okay, turning it all over. On the case back, Omega co-axial chronometer caliber 3612. Let's get everything back in focus. It features not one, but two separate column wheels. You can see one of them, and as I turn the watch over, you can see its counterpart. Two column wheels for the split-second system. It features a 52-hour power reserve, coaxial escapement designed by George Daniels and industrialized by Omega. It features a free-sprung balance architecture, so it has that refinement that allows it to take a tight regulation in 5 positions and withstand vibrations and bumps on the wrist without losing or gaining time. It's a handsome movement with incredible depth, and being based on a Frédéric Piguet, it has a little bit of Blancpain and Breguet DNA in it. All of this water-resistant down to 100 meters. It's a remarkably versatile watch, and it does feature both a quick set date and stop seconds. The timepiece with 38 jewels is remarkably sophisticated, but this is a timepiece that overwhelms on every level. It's not necessarily the nuance, although, make no mistake, this watch has plenty of it, but the brute force of that black dial rose gold combination with the high horology complicated automatic movement inside. See it and live the dream, because this watch was my dream back in the 2000s. On the watch box. Omega De Ville Rattrapante. Maximalist by day, minimalist by night.